morning, children. In the previous class, in chapter 1, we have studied about the ancient history, about ancient India. Everything about past we have studied. How the early men came, their life changed, and the sources of the past history. Then they started living a settled life. Then we studied about the various civilization. But now, children, in this chapter, we study about new kings and kingdoms. As I have told you that the history of past India, it is something unique. We had the dynasties, the Britishers, and they all ruled for years and years on our country. So today, we are going to start with the second chapter of history, and the name of the chapter is New Kings and Kingdoms. Children, in this chapter we are going to study about the different dynasties, about the different rulers who ruled our country, India, and they ruled for years and years. I think you all are very much aware of it. So we are going to study about all these dynasties like the Guptas, the Mauryans, the Kadam, and etc. So let's start with our explanation. So children, let's start with the explanation of the chapter New Kings and Kingdoms. Before coming to the different dynasties and rulers which came in the 7th century, we shall study a few key terms like dynasty. Now, what does dynasty mean? It is a family of rulers who rule over a country for a long period of time, like the Gupta dynasty, the Mauryan dynasty, and children, Chandragupta Maurya, he was the first Mauryan ruler. Then another word is kingdom. Now, what does it mean? It means any country which is ruled by a monarch is considered to be a kingdom, like a king or a queen. Then empire. An empire can be said is a large kingdom, and it is traditionally larger than a kingdom and may consist of many different regions and nations under its control. That is, it is bigger than a kingdom and having control over many regions and nations. So these are the three main terms which we are going to use in the explanation of the chapter. Now we will see what all dynasties came in the 7th century. First we will study about Samantas. Now, who were Samantas? Samantas, they were big landlords or warriors, and they were also subordinates to the existing kings. That is, whosoever was the king, they were the subordinates or we should say the employees under the king. And they expected to bring gifts to their kings. They also provided military support and even attended king's courts. They gained huge power and wealth for their kingdom. And due to the huge power and wealth, they declared themselves Mahasamanta or Mahamandaleshwar. These were the titles which were given to these Samantas. Now we shall be studying about new kings and dynasties. So first, children, we will be studying about the Chalukyas. I think you all are very much familiar and have studied these terms in class 6th also. Dantidurg, he was a Chalukya, a Samant of Chalukyas, and he ruled over Karnataka. He overthrew his Chalukya overlord, and he performed a ritual called Hiranyagarbha. Children, why he performed this ritual? Just because he wasn't a Kshatriya, and it was a belief in the olden times that one who performs a ritual called Hiranyagarbha, he will become a Kshatriya, though he may not be Kshatriya by birth. Then comes Kadam. Kadam, Maurya Sharman was a ruler of Kadam dynasty, and he too ruled in Karnataka. And another one is Gurjara Pratihara. And children, Harichandra was a ruler of Gurjara Pratihara dynasty. So these were the few dynasties which came in the 7th century, and they ruled for many years due to their power and due to their wealth. So children, this is the map of the places where they established their kingdom. The dynasties like Chahamanas, Gurjara Pratihara, Rashtrakutas and Kadam. So this is a map from your book. You can see the map on page number 16, and you can even mark it where these dynasties ruled, what all places they were there under their kingdom. Now children, one very important thing, we all are not aware of it. The kings, they gave themselves high sounding titles. That is the titles which had a great sound, which had a great meaning. What were the titles? One of the title was Maharaja Dhiraj, which means Overlord of the Kings. Another title was Tribhuvan Chakravartin, which means Lord of the Three Worlds. So children, in spite of these high sounding titles, kings shared their power with Samantas and with associations of peasants, Brahmanas and even traders. And do you know, kings collected taxes also. From whom they collected taxes? They collected taxes from producers like peasants, cattle keepers and artisans. Now the question arises, why do the kings collected taxes? So we can see from this picture, the kings collected taxes to finance their establishments, that is to build their huge kingdom, huge palace, and to fulfill the demands of their queens, to purchase the jewelry, to pay the salaries to their employers, and to maintain their huge kingdom. Then they collected taxes to construct big structures like forts, temples and even palaces. And they also collected taxes to wage wars, that to have wars with another kingdom, with another areas, regions, to gain more and more power and to establish the kingdom at a greater places. Now children, we shall be studying about the two main things. First is Prashastri. Now what is this Prashasti? Prashastis were Sanskrit poems, and it was written by Brahmins. Why it was written? It was written in praise of kings. So they were Sanskrit poems written by Brahmins praising their kings and even their kingdoms. And they contain, these Prashastis, they contain details which may not be true, but they tell us the way the rulers wanted to depict themselves as great achievers, victorious, fearless, valiant, etc. And one such Prashasti was composed by Kalhan, and he composed his Prashasti for history of kings. That is, in his Prashasti he wrote about the history of kings, the king who ruled over Kashmir, and he was often critical about the rulers and their policies, unlike the Prashastis which always praised them. So children, we could easily say the Prashastis were not totally true. At times they were written just to praise the king and his kingdom. Now, land grants. Kings often rewarded Brahmanas by grant of land, that is, they gave the lands to the Brahmanas as a reward, and these were recorded on copper plates which were given to the people who received land. So, these whatever lands they were given, they were recorded, their record was made on copper plates and which were given to the people who received these lands. So, children, for today, this much I think is enough. You should go through the chapter, go through these pages where we have studied about these dynasties and try to understand it. In the next class, we will be studying about more dynasties, their rulings and their kingdoms. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.